quick headlines before the intro. The EU carbon border mechanism entered its definitive phase in 2026, but here is the nuance: it does not simply slap a tax on every phone or laptop. The current core scope focuses on carbon-intensive goods like iron, steel, aluminium, cement, fertilizers, electricity, and hydrogen. Tech gadget prices can still feel it through materials, but the headline needs precision.
Powered by artificial intelligence.
The Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism is designed to reduce carbon leakage by putting a carbon price on certain emissions embedded in imports. The idea is that if EU producers face carbon costs under the EU emissions trading system, importers of covered goods should face a comparable obligation. The policy is climate regulation, trade policy, and industrial strategy all at once. The most important consumer correction is scope. CBAM is not currently a blanket tech gadget tax. Official EU material points to selected carbon-intensive goods. For electronics, the connection is indirect: aluminium casings, steel parts, manufacturing equipment, electricity markets, and upstream materials can influence margins. But a finished smartphone is not the same thing as an imported ton of aluminium. Tech hardware uses global materials. If covered inputs become more expensive for importers, suppliers may renegotiate contracts. Manufacturers may redesign materials, shift sourcing, or absorb costs to protect market share. Retail prices change only after the cost passes through procurement, assembly, logistics, distribution, and brand strategy. So the right phrase is not "your phone is taxed directly." It is "carbon-priced inputs can become a hardware margin issue." The hidden cost is not only the certificate price. It is measurement, reporting, verification, and supplier transparency. Importers need emissions data for covered goods. That can push large buyers to demand cleaner documentation from suppliers. Over time, this may reward lower carbon production and penalize opaque supply chains. For tech brands, the reputational risk may matter almost as much as the direct cost. European institutions have discussed simplifications in future assessment of CBAM scope. That does not mean every downstream product is automatically included tomorrow. It means companies should prepare for carbon accounting to move deeper into supply chains. If more sectors or downstream products become covered later, the tech industry will need cleaner bills of materials and more traceable emissions data. Bottom line, European carbon border taxes can affect tech costs, but the mechanism is more specific than viral headlines suggest. The near-term impact is through carbon-intensive inputs, compliance burden, supplier choices, and margin pressure. The long-term story is bigger. Hardware pricing is starting to include the carbon history of the materials inside the device.